LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into our second semi of the day. I'm talking about the game, of course. Semi? It's a... Yeah, no, it is a semi-final. I'm an idiot. I got it right the first time. One of these teams will be the finalized team in our grand final. I think I said it enough times. And, yeah, I think this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, QB.Fire. I don't think they've really lived up to the hype of, obviously, them getting... Getting to the major final, and well, not the major final, getting to the major. Jesus, my mind is all over the place at the moment. Top 8, they got legend status. There we go. The major final, that would have been impressive. Gambit, though, they have made it to the major final, and they've won it, so there you go, transition. But, yeah, I think this, if they could manage to qualify for this LAN event, it would be incredible. I think Gambit are the definite favourites. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Obviously, waiting for them will be Avangard in the final. Thank you to our semi-final, which, earlier in the day, which gave us that matchup. So, QB.Fire or Gambit, I think most people will be sticking with Gambit for this one. But I'm hoping we can at least see an interesting series, get ourselves some close games, of course. The maps, Mirage, picked by Quantum Bellator Fire, Train picked by Gambit, and then the final will be Cash if necessary. So, looking like we're not going to see any more Cobble. Actually, we could see Cobble in the final, I guess. I highly doubt that Avangard would want to play it. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if either of these teams want to play it. Who left it in? It was actually Gambit who removed it, so never mind. Maybe neither of them will want to play it in the next. But we are going into our 9th round. CT side, normally favoured by either team, but in all honesty, I think the firepower on Gambit alone should be enough to win this one. I'm someone who knows a fair bit about at least Quick on this team, someone who came from the Lithuanian scene, and he was always pretty good at the T side of this map, so I'm looking forward to seeing what him and his team can do here, but, well, not going to get the side start they wanted. We'll see whether or not Gambit, yeah, they're just going to pick the CT side, not surprised by that at all. QB.Fire definitely had some troubles online. I've not seen much recent. Obviously to like Vici over in China, and then they've beaten. I wouldn't say it's something that they're not to the level that they should be performing at. I think that's what we want to say. When you get top 8, when you get legend status at a major, you should be sort of rivaling at least the sort of like, I would say top 10. I think that's what people hope for at least. Doesn't look like they're close to that at the moment, but we'll see if they can get themselves closer to that qualification spot. Whether or not Gambit are going to do what everybody expects of them. Gambit, of course, are another team that in online matches we can see problems arise. Surely in this scenario, they're not going to want to lose the chance to get to this event. Quick push in towards the B site. The man to defend it will be Dosia. Already picked up one, but can't do too much more. However, he does have his teammates quickly on the scene. Adren given a chance, but won't actually take it. However, the second couple of shots he shall find and leaves it all onto Quick into a 1 versus 2. Spots out Adren, and they're both in that position, and it will be seized to close out the round. Gambit take themselves the pistol round. A pretty scrappy one at that. Now we'll see the force buy-in from QB.Fire. CT side, playing this one, actually, I would say fairly risky. I think Adren, obviously, having the rifle is always going to be a strong prospect. The man is an absolute beast, and Mo is pretty damn aggressive. Doesn't manage to connect the shots. They have to be careful. Hobbit will look to try and hold his flank and nade a decent amount of damage. Where are the T's actually going to go? Now, we've seen a little bit of aggression out from Dosia, and it left some questions, especially when we saw the position of the bomb, but Ready Mo goes to peek back out. Adren is there to support him, and this round is all but over. Mo will fall at least, which is some extra damage, but Boomage is going to have to pull out something pretty damn impressive. Ducking down into the underpass is, I think, seized. Maybe about to just come swooping in. He's actually watching the angle. Oh, never mind. That's an opener. Boomage going to be pushing back around. Has to be careful from short, although a potential another one-on-one duel. Now, the position of Adren is just dirty. He just wants to make sure this rifle's kept into the next round. Boomage going to throw out the little bit of utility he has. Take down Dossier, he has a legitimate chance to actually win this round, and we know how deadly the CZ can be, and there we go. He picks up another, and now turns it into the 1 versus 1. The bomb is going to be going down on that B site. There's absolutely nothing Adren can do about that. He's tagged to 28 HP, maybe a little bit overzealous from this CT side. Adren, back towards that B site. Crossover towards the market, he's not going to know that he's gone there. Especially with the position of the bomb, it's very unlikely that he'll be in this position. And Boomage, yeah, does he not spot him? How has that happened? That timing must have been utterly perfect. It should line up for him in the end. And what a clutch from Boomage. 4 kills, instant bounce back from QB.Fire. And, wow, that was impressive. That was impressive. I didn't believe, I'll be honest. Not believing that at all. Hey, Triplin, how's it going? Force buy back in from the CT side. One thing I've noticed about this Gambit side, it seems that when they need to win a round, that's normally the point where they just pull one out of nowhere. Seized. That dark position is going to be overwhelmed fairly quickly. Actually helped out by Adren. They'll have the rifle onto Dossier. Scout from Mo, not going to connect the shot. And this round is a fairly risky one from the T's with the amount of SMGs that they have, but in this after plant position, I highly doubt there's going to be too much that the CT side can do. Maybe just looking to try and hold in an extra player or two to the site. Eventually, they are just going to fall back and save. So given an extra chance to do some damage, you can see the T's are beginning their hunt now, knowing that they have won themselves the round. Hobbit is at least going to take one down. Won't really affect anything. He makes next to no money off of the CZ anyway. Weaponry saved from the previous round will still be kept. East side obviously with an advantage once again into this round. The CTs should be able to buy into the next anyway with 2,400 into their account, so this round can be all about damage. QB.Fire are going to be setting up over towards this A site. Players actually out towards the palace. Now, the man they have to be careful for is seized, but at the same time, the man they don't really have to be careful for is also seized, because although his position is very powerful, the weapon that he currently has in hand is not. Hobbit just going to be waiting in the back lines alongside Adren, but ultimately the one rifle is currently over towards that B site, and now the smokes rain down. The Molotovs look to clear a lot of these closer range angles. Seized. Hoping somebody gets a big mistake, and it's not going to happen. They're checking all of the angles. They're being fairly safe here. Mo actually manages to connect the shot, and Quick just going to stick that defusal. Hobbit's pushed in and actually found another one. Now, they've made things a little bit more interesting here. Dosia could opt to save this rifle into the next round. Doesn't have any extra cash to drop an AWP or anything, so that's not coming in either way. Can he at least make things incredibly costly? Now, there isn't much time to actually get on that bomb defusal, so the chance of them winning the round are very slim indeed. Mo is actually just going to be trying to bait them into actually pushing, and they do get both kills. Question is there enough time? No, there isn't. So it is just going to be them running for the hills, but a lot of damage done by Gambit. We know that they'll have themselves a bye into the next round anyway. And actually, Hobbit, well, if he's dropped a rifle, he can now drop an AWP, so that's not bad at all. Mo could go glass cannon instead, but I don't really know why you'd do that. The question is, will they actually opt to keep Scout? Technical pause called, so not anything too severe just yet. Are going to see the AWP. The question is somebody going to use the Scout? It looks like Seized might. I can understand it from a utility perspective, but I don't like it from a weapon. I just think go with your full buy. That's where you're much more likely to win yourselves around. You have the AWP anyway. Be interested to see where he plays it. Maybe it's like an aggro B. Even if he just hits a tag and falls back, that's something. Has brought up a pistol behind it, I suppose. I have to wait. B-side have plenty of money to buy back into this anyway, so a good chance for them to actually reset their opponents very early in this game. Team speed. So somebody's had a pizza delivered. That's what we can take from that. Probably needs pizza delivery. I've asked quite a few people this about like TeamSpeak issues, and it seems like a lot of people say that they have never had problems before. So I'm always interested when I see TeamSpeak issues. There's another reason, or if genuinely they're just unlucky with TeamSpeak. It could be also based on region. Like I suppose if maybe the servers go down, or maybe you just pay. Gonna be having the unpause called. In for waterfalls as well. A lot of money, of course, had to be invested into this round for the T side, as they did lose every single player in the last. We are now into what is close to a 4-buy. I think Seized on the Scout is a little bit more interesting. He's going to be waiting, actually, for the peek, and that's a fast push in. Boomy just completely caught him with his pants down with a little bit of help from Quick. Well, the change in pace has just completely ruined Gambit. They may even have to just call a save from here. I don't think they can realistically challenge this round. It's a 3 versus 5. If they keep all of their players alive, they combine to the next round. It's just not worth it. So, after what was such a long pause, we get one of the fastest rounds in history, ended in a matter of seconds, and Gambit are left clueless as to what just happened. Even saving isn't going very well. They're going to lose another player. Hobbit. Those two will at least do a bit of damage, but ultimately the damage doesn't matter. They're going to be the ones who have to eco into the next round, and this one rifle save isn't going to be enough. I don't really know why they challenged. I guess trying to take away a weapon or two, not allow the T side to actually build up too much cash, but that was not worth it. That was not worth it at all. 4-1. terrifying start from Boomage, already with multiple high-impact rounds. Yeah, all the CT side can afford to invest is a few pistols, nothing much more. And obviously they have that one rifle onto Hobbit now. In the past, he's definitely been someone who can have those crazy impact rounds. The major final that they won was a lot based around his individual performance. I think a lot of it was granted to the in-game leading of Zeus, but I don't think you could ever take away how impressive Hobbit was in that final. Definitely took a dip when he took the in-game leading role, but has said that he's going to be focusing more on his individual game, so definitely a possibility. I kind of hope so, because this guy is nuts. Want him to have those crazy performances. Right. Gonna win this round. They're gonna need a little bit more from him here. They've got the aggression of Seized into Palace, but ultimately shouldn't have too much impact. And if the push comes in on towards this A site, okay, he'll be a little bit of a menace, a little bit annoying, but there shouldn't be any way that the CTs win this round. Bomb can comfortably be planted for short. They don't know the Palace is clear, so I don't know why they'd risk planting for anywhere that's vulnerable to that spot. Well, Hobbit, the only one with a rifle. Have a lot to do. Now, we do see C slowly sneaking out, but Waterfalls has spotted him. It won't matter. C still manages to find the kill, and Hobbit is actually doing a decent amount of damage, but it won't last for long. JMQA, Jumqua, and Boomage will be able to shut things down. But now comes the big buy. This is what Gambit have saved their money for. This is where all of the investment will come in. Not a bad start at all. Already the opening pick coming in. In fact, a couple. Again, is Boomage pushing out and managing to find himself a pick. And at the moment, Gambit just look like they're sleeping. Fast plays is just the message of the day, and Boomage is just wrecking face. 13 and 3 for him already. And there has been not even close to a response for Gambit. I wonder if they need to take some sort of tactical pause here. They had some time during the tech. I doubt anybody was watching to see if they were talking. They're getting absolutely slapped, and the fact is, QB.Fire, okay, they're not doing anything revolutionary, they're just switching up the pace, but they're hitting all of their shots, they're finding those openings. Boomage has looked impeccable, and again, he was one of the players that, when they did have that incredible run at the Major, he was one that was definitely highlighted. I don't think there was a member who wasn't, but Boomage definitely made the headlines. Know that the skill ceiling's there. Hobbit, given an opportunity, but won't be taking it, and instead his teammate's going to be lost, and Quick still looking to try and take this fight. Big Hobbit to eventually find the kill, but now JMQA looks to try and turn the tide with a push on towards that B site. Should have a fairly simplistic kill onto Dosia and leaves Hobbit alone in a 1 versus 4. Needs an ace to win this. Managed to retrieve an AK. It won't last for long. 7 and 1. Very impressive start to this map. And we will see, once again, a big buy coming in. Double AWP set up once more. Question is, how long can Boomage do this for? Oh, this time definitely gets the timing on that peak. Taking a lot of control over towards that upper B spot. The only man there is going to be Dosia. Been some aggression from Hobbit onto short. Dren and Mo, they're all trying to really control this window spot. But the fact is, it's going to be Dosia with the majority of the work. to do. Smoke will slow down the push, but now they're going to throw... Oh, sorry, Molotov will. Actually, the T's are not going to gamble here. Mo, I don't know if he was caught sleeping there or something, but Waterfalls just peeks out and takes him down. Mo maybe just left his PC on standby or something for a few seconds. If he's looking at that angle, he should have had that kill easy peasy all day long. 50 seconds left on the clock. Hobbit looking to try and take some control back, but there's nobody there anymore. Now the T's are looking to gather up towards A site. Smokes are going to begin to fall in. Seized. We'll have quite a lot to do, but he's expected. Quick gets that opening pick and leaves only Adren on the site. Now times that can be enough. Already hits a dig, but now gets Molotoved out of position. Bomb can now make its way on towards the site. Hobbit looking through a gap in the smoke. Maybe a bit of a mistake, but they're going to plant in the default spot anyway. Now it comes down to the retake. No utility left other than a singular flash. They do have kits on a couple of players, but desperately need to pick in. And quick this round. He has got it in the bag. Another for him. Now he's starting to wake up to the table as well. The Lithuanian hitting shots and showing Gambit who's boss. Adren is just looking to try and save his gun, but Boomage is not a kind mistress. He will slap Adren into the ground and 8-1 up. QB.Fire are running away with this. More of the same. More of the same. Quick, just pushing out onto the site. This time, he will be taken down, but it just seems like the pace at which QB.Fire are playing at is becoming difficult. But this round, at least, going fairly well. The nade, oh, is it going to get him? Not quite. 10 HP. He's at least spotted a few players over towards this side. They don't really need to go for the push here, but they're just looking to try and brute force their way through Gambit. Seized. Manages to retrieve the rifle. Has to be careful. Kadosia going for the peek as well. And look at the flank. Perfect flank from Hobbit. He gets both kills. Looking like Gambit's second round will be based off the back of pistols. That seems to be the case a lot of the time. However, how much damage can JMQA do? Hobbit on the angle. He loses his life. Could make things a little bit more interesting. Even if they do win this round, there's at least the damage factor here. Now, Gambit was saving money, so that's something at least. He's only on 10 HP. Oh, and he just about wins it. 8-2. I thought we were about to see another impressive clutch from QB.Fire, but the fact is, they don't need it. The money is there. Gambit back. Got some money to spare. Saving a little bit of extra weaponry. Balbina even looking to just go for another aggressive push, but this time will be shut down by Mo. Quick, however, is able to trade. Forces him off of the angle. Picks up another, and it's going from bad to worse as Quick finds one more. I mentioned him at the beginning as someone who could perform. However, Seized turns the tide back. He gives them a chance. Those are about to be flanked in. Ooh, cheeky, only needing one bullet. And now Seized has to try and clutch. It's looking like maybe an instant reset here, and he's been hurt as well. JMQA again with another one tap. And Gambit are just getting slaughtered here. again, Mo. He's really been struggling this game in that window. He's tagged down to just 4 HP, the AWP at least in his hands, so that's something, I suppose. Gonna reposition the Molotov. He has to be very careful with that. I don't know how he doesn't get that kill. It looked like it was all but set. Has to run away from the angle as the nade will be thrown in. Quick already going to be finding another opener. It seems like the initial power that was formed by Boomage has now passed over to the lit. And, well, here we go. Adren on the site. Managed to get one. Just a very quick trade. The loose star that's coming out from QB.Fire is working wonderfully versus Gambit. They're just being completely overwhelmed. Hobbit is close. He's going to get baited. Almost still manages to win the duel. And they still haven't quite dealt with Mo just yet. Osia even on the flank. And this is now looking possible. Mo looking like he wanted to kill off his teammate for a second there. And Dosia is now going to pick off one more. Somehow this may just work. But Mo is left only on 4 HP. His opponent onto just 12. And Balbina will clutch it out. Another round on the board for QB.Fire as they hit number 10. And again, there's no money left for QB. Felt like I'm sounding like a broken record at the moment. Quick with another opener. Still going strong. 14 and 8 now. He's looking to actually catch up to Boomage. Hobbit will at least be able to turn one back, but there's no real reason for the T's to go pushing into this A side. I feel like that's been the case so far. No reason to do certain things, but doesn't necessarily mean that QB.Fire won't do it. They've been asserting their dominance a lot of the time. All-out aggression. They're just waiting patiently. They know that they have the number of Gambit at the moment. Thank you, Golden. Love you too. Well, you didn't say you love me, but I'm saying I love you too. That's the best response to anything anyone says, by the way. Like, oh, here you go, have some chocolate. I love you too. It just like, that will blow anyone's mind. Either way, Seized has actually managed to steal a kill with a P250. Problem is, he's now gambled onto B. And I hate to break it to you, Seized. They're going A. Has managed to retrieve an AK. The problem is the time even starting to just tick away, and Balbina gets himself another kill. Quick, just is not missing. Like, I remembered briefly, like, a sort of stint on him on Mirage, where this was just one of the maps he loved to play. But this is ridiculous. He's just not missing, and neither has Boomage. Boomage has only gone quiet over the last few rounds because he's had no one left to kill. It's unusual that the guy entering onto the sites or entering into middle just doesn't die and just carries on killing everyone. That's the scariest scenario for any team. That's why you look at some of the more like dominant performances is when, say, Dupree goes off the chains or when Apex goes off the chains. It's because if your entry fragger is having one of those better games, you're screwed. The fact is, at the moment, Hobbit's 11 and 10. Everybody else not having a particularly good game. Seized has had a few moments, but fact is, this is not what I expected from Gambit at all. And what has looked like what should be a sort of 2-0, it's 11-2 on the T side. One man defend this site. Rotation will come in from Adren, just looking to try and hold on Palace position, but actually he gets rid of Quick. Over the last few rounds, he's been the man to get those openers. Without spotting too much else, they actually rotate a man off. Seized. Push further. Now, if he can take the man out in Palace, it's only going to be the push coming in from one angle. The fact is, they've actually got quite far out. See, how is he still standing there? Just managing to lurk in the backlines. Doing the damage himself, already picks up a couple of kills, and this should be around dead to rights. Waterfalls is looking to change that. We've seen some pretty clutch plays coming in, but this would have to be the ace for Waterfalls. And Adren should catch him with his pants down. 11-3. At least another round goes onto the board for this CT side. But the fact is, there's so much money left for QB.Fire. There's a definite buy coming back in. Again, no. These opening picks just seem to fall the way of this T side. Mitch waiting, but Barbina's now the one taking the mantle. The crown is being passed from head to head as different players on this QB.Fire roster just fire off into the round. Well, there, a return. JMQA has even got himself into the window. He's going to hear all the footsteps from Mo. Auto Director didn't want to show that because it was too brutal an execution. He's now hunting for the man in that window room. Now, the fact is, JMQA, his position seems like a very good one. Okay, I was going to say the problem is he could give a false positive that there's nobody in jungle. And the fact is there is. And he may still have done that. Not expecting anybody to be here anymore. Barbina, though, he's taken the crown. He's now the one wearing the almighty, all-powerful, Gambit-destroying crown, and he gets a quad kill. Like, there's just not a member on this team who hasn't had an impactful round. What a half from QB.Fire. I have to say, I'm shocked, but I am impressed. Pistol round is more than crucial here. He's just going to go pushing straight in. Do they expect Boomage to be here? They don't. He actually gets a couple of kills. A third from Boomage as well. Where has this come from, QB.Fire? This is so impressive. That was just absolute pinpoint precision. 19-9 for Boomage. Quick 15-11, 13-10, 12-8. Remember, one of these teams is eliminated from the tournament. The other heads through to the grand final versus Avangard and has the chance to make it to the $300,000 Star Ladder LAN. There's only one spot for CIS. There's two for EU. I believe there's one for NA as well, which was already taken by NRG, who beat Renegades in the final. Gambit are the ones expected to take this already. Walker pick things off. Quick goes for a little bit of aggression onto short. Now, QB.Fire have no reason to take any risks in these sort of rounds. Nice shot from JMQA. But Mo, making a lot of noise. Yeah, Boomage is just going to be watching the angle. Quick even peeks back in. Only has an MP9, so it's not ideal. I'm actually going to go rotating in towards JMQA. Now, he is one of the riflers. Quick is already going to remove Mo, and this position is going to make things so easy for JMQA. It is done. 14-3. This round, well, it's either just going to be another forced attempt, or Gambit are going to play for OT and try and win 12 rounds in a row. It's actually, this is just Well, I'm a QB.Fire fan. I have a QB.Fire shirt on my wall. And I'm trying desperately hard not to be really biased here. But at the moment, they are obliterating Gambit. Christmas, for me, has come early. We are going to have a quick trade round. I will say I also do like Gambit, though, so... It's a bit of a half-hearted Christmas. Alina. Want to get overwhelmed here. Just looking to try and fall back, but Mo isn't going to allow for that. Waterfalls with the scout and should be able to dunk down Seized. Actually doesn't. Jeez, you know what I'm saying. Actually, maybe this game isn't done just yet. The forward buy-in from the T side seemingly working. Now it's left all onto Quick. We've seen some clutch plays so far, but he can't catch that one. 14 and 4. A round back for Gambit. The CT side, ooh, do they risk this one? That's the question. I would say save. You've got so many rounds in a row. So many rounds to play with. There's no real reason to take any risks. Aren't you just going to play it safe? No reason not to. They've got plenty of money to buy back into the next round. They'll have 1,900 on every player. They can have an AWP if they want it. Does mean that this round's probably not going to be too exciting unless maybe the Deeg. Maybe the Deeg can do something. Bit of a boost in play at the moment, but the fact is, Quick, he needs to pull off a miracle. Like, this would be impressive. That's a nice shot, though. Does manage to take down Mo. Won't do too much more. And, okay, that's an AK. Garbina doesn't manage to hold on to it for long, and in fact moves it a little bit further forward, so it's not ideal. Which this time can't pull off any heroics. And now Waterfalls alone, all by himself. Doesn't want to be, but he is all by him. And no more. There you go. That was just awful. But either way, we are going to have... I meant my song lyrics, not the round. 14 to 5. Now comes the big boy bye. Kicking things off on the T side, but Waterfalls is going to be there to trade. Gren has been tagged down to just 9 HP. Of course, if they lose this round, the T's will have money to buy into the next one, but realistically, they don't want to be putting themselves up against map point. Quick will now go down. The aggression in towards that B site has left him, and one by one they fall. Bit like a piece being removed from the bottom of a Jenga. It has just all toppled. One piece holding it up. Boomage, he has been impressive so far. Fact is, now that the A site is clear, the bomb's actually going to rotate away from his angle, and this just isn't going to happen. 1 versus 4, should probably just try and save onto what he's got. Clearly feeling a bit confident. He's got a lot of utility. I don't really know why he's trying to fight this. Can at least take one down, make things a little bit more costly. Actually, if he can retrieve an AWP, that would be something at least. Instead, he's going to opt to try and throw some nades out. Siege will be there on the cross. And, well, it isn't going to amount to anything. 2,900 will come in and loss bonus in the next round, so they'll have no trouble buying back in. Once again, not much invested. In fact, there's nobody on A at all. And at the back of the site in CT, it's looking like another round should be on the board, at least for Gambit. Question is this the legitimate comeback, or is this just delaying the inevitable? QB.Fire are in need of just 2 rounds to take this first map. Still, Gambit going to play things very safe in this one. Lots of utility being used. Been anyone anywhere near the action, and they are just being picked apart one by one by one. Only Boomage remains, who has invested absolutely nothing into the Big.Fire is back though. AWP. Lacking a little bit in utility. Could be a singular kit, so not the perfect buy for QB.Fire, but definitely enough that they could take this one over the line, only needing a couple of rounds, and Gambit still 7 needed to equalize the scoreline, and 9 if they were going to win it. Oh, quick push up to the side. Balbina left in the corner. I've managed to get a couple, and that may be enough to actually turn the tide in this round. Still going to have to be a retake, and as said, there's not a whole lot of utility. A couple of smokes and an incendiary. And actually Quick going to be caught in the flames. Is there any way to pick these players apart, and Seized being in on the flank? Be a real problem if they don't spot him out early enough. In fact, they're going to send a second player. This is interesting from Gambit. Made this more than possible. Not going to be thrown onto the bomb. Got players on the cross. The question is there any way that they can actually take this down? They've spotted the first player into middle, but the likelihood of spotting a second is slim, and actually it will be enough. Waterfall's hitting the shots. Diffuser will come in for JMQA, and now map point has been hit. Of course, Gambit, they have got the money to buy back in. There's no problems for them there. The financial status of this team is going to be absolutely perfect, whereas the CT side do still have limitations. Still, the CTs could be reset. Boomage with a very aggressive push is going to be caught out early in this round. Waterfalls, in fact, even takes a tag down to just 22 HP. So, in terms of these initial battles, the T side have won them hands down, and almost worried for QB.Fire now as reset could become something fairly demoralizing. But Quick managed to kill. JMQA still just trying his best to survive. I don't know how he survives for that long. In fact, even managing a kill back, but then Adren with the aggression. They have just done enough. Down to Quick. Carbiner. Quick tag so low, they may just opt to duck out of this round. Boomage will have enough that he could buy a rifle into the next, and maybe if they save the AWP, there's something that they can play behind, but at the same time, Gambit, their 8th round on the board. Likely to get the 9th. Now, if QB.Fire force this, it goes wrong. We could be looking at, say, 15-10, 15-11 before they get a proper buyback on the board. And if that's the case, then Gambit really aren't far away from dragging this all the way back. Let's talk about the sort of CIS scene and having far more T-sided halves than look at just Counter-Strike in general. Looks of things, they are going to be risking it here. They'll have 4 rifles, so that's something. It'll only be Barbina. Well, actually, no, they'll go for 3. Okay. Boomage wanting that extra utility. Gonna be enough. And as said, they lose this round 15-9, then they've got an eco, 15-10. Even the buy that they come back with in the next round may not be enough, but somehow Waterfalls does do enough early in this round. He's found Mo. The AWP will be dropped. A little bit of utility expended by the T side to try and take back a bit of control. And in fact, Dosia is even going to retrieve the orb. Maybe not wanting that to go into the opponent's hands. These, though, has managed to get quite far forward. This is scary stuff. He's got such a powerful angle. The question is, Waterfalls, I think he knows. Yeah, he does. I think it was spotted. It must have been spotted by Quick when he actually crossed past. So that flank is now gone. Gambit left with a man disadvantage. Still, though, in terms of weaponry, I would say that they have this. Especially considering the man with the AWP so low on health. Quick. He will fall as well. And one by one, they drop like flies. It's left all onto JMQA. Net himself the first. Plenty of time left for Gambit to play with. They don't really need to over-dedicate themselves here. And actually, he's going to throw down the smoke and just go on a long rotation. It's maybe a bit of a surprise. They're going to think that they know exactly where he is. The problem is, he doesn't actually have a kit. And they're just going to go straight for the bomb plant. The fact is now that going to start to suspect something here. Ready, Dosia with the AWP in hand. Is he going to be homed in on the angle? Yes, he is. 15-9. No reset coming. Or no end of map, I should say, coming. And instead, now, the CT side, they just don't have the money to invest. They've just got to wait it out again. So 15-10 likely to come in. It is actually just going to be a flat eco. QB.Fire investing absolutely nothing. They'll go straight for the A stack. Remember, this was a 12-3 pistol win. They've managed 1 of the last 7 rounds. Likely to be 1 of 8. Ready though? Do manage to do a little bit of damage. Ultimately, it's going to have little to no effect. These will comfortably be able to buy into the next few rounds. The only way it would really make a difference is if you manage to retrieve one of these weapons. And Gambit are making sure that that doesn't happen by throwing them out of the map. Waterfalls is just going to be looking for that gun, but instead likely to meet Adren. I think he did spot him out at least. If he can get this kill, then that would be good for him, but Adren is not going to allow that by any stretch of the imagination. Gambit, 5 rounds behind now, as another buy will be coming in. Tactical ball is actually taken by Gambit, likely to know that the money is back on its side. Flat rifles. Fair bit of utility, but they don't have a kit and they don't have an AWP. Won't see any heroics. Waterfalls in this round. Look, oh, the pick from Mo. Wonderful stuff to kick from Mo. Be able to trade one back. They can't get anything more. And Hobbit, just spraying through the smoke, gets himself another. Side. Not much choice but to save. That continues. Now Gambit are starting to make this look possible. Of course, this is the map choice of QB.Fire. They had such an impeccable T side. If they lost this, I don't feel like they have a chance on train. That's the truth, because it would be so demoralizing. When you streak a game like this, you just want to end it. And well, I think they're going to be ended. They're losing the final players who are just looking to save their money. Maybe one will survive, I mean, at least. Just one rifle. Side, a few pistols. Balvin are looking to try and find something early on. The aggression of Quick is going to be punished, and this Gambit team really has come to life over the last, well, I was going to say few rounds, but it's been a lot now. Looking like they're going to get their 9 out of 10. And yeah, I think anybody would be foolish to bet against them in this one. Waterfalls. In all honesty, may just want to die. There's a rifle. Save that, there's something, but Hobbit is ready and waiting to defend it. 15 to 12, we were looking at a 14 to 3 scoreline. Even, you could say, 15 to 7. Now, it is 15-12. 3 rounds of difference. Double AWP setup picked up. Quick will have the secondary. Both players who had the sort of impeccable T side have started to slow down a little bit. Maybe this will be the difference maker. He'll be looking to play possibly in towards the connector. I think Waterfall's actually going to go over towards B, so change in personnel. Boomage still going to be sticking with his boosted spot. Quick actually gone aggressive in towards the apps. Control, almost completely in the control of the T side, and they are looking like they're about to gather up towards A site. Minute left on the clock. All utility from the CT, the flashbangs is gone, and Boomage will fall as well. Quick is going to be there to try and defend it. Takes one man out of the connector, but there's a second to be had, and Mo be waiting patiently, looking for that spot. The thing is, they don't seem to know that Quick is still here. However, that Molotov is going to be enough. He still takes the kill, though, and that kill could be vital. Give them something into this. Waterfall's waiting on the angle, turns it into a 3 versus 2. However, not for long, as Adren is back and kicking. The man in CT, the battle for this spot could be what decides the round. Pop flash in. Actually, his teammate will be lost, and the shot will be hit. QB.Fire, it took them a long, long time, but they do close out their map choice of Mirage. Will be heading on to train, and they will have themselves the map advantage. Great showing on the T side, and eventually they closed it out on the CT. We'll be back after the break to bring you the second and possible conclusion, but the fact is,